Well, have you ever thought about sound in movies? And not just the big explosions or the massive crowds, but the soft footsteps, swishing of the jeans, playing with plants, even the slurps. That's all Chris Szott thinks about. He's the founder of Little Hook Sound, Alberta's only Foley studio. CBC's Clare Bonnyman was all ears.
Hi, my name is Chris Szott, and I'm a Foley artist at Little Hook Sound here in Edmonton. Got like bones.
Those bedposts?
Yeah, I could break them at some point. There's marbles.
Do a lot of people know what Foley is when you say that you're a Foley artist?
Nobody. You can deaden kind of the sound.
So it sounds like there's something in it?
Exactly, yeah. So every Foley artist kind of has their own interpretation, but I like to say it's the reperformance and reproduction of the everyday sounds that you see characters do in movies and TV shows. So picking up cups, footsteps. Okay, here we go. Take 2. Anything a character touches has to be kind of reperformed and reproduced by myself and my team. Oh, not this one. This one, which is like a dog choker collar. But when you pair it with some other jewelry, it sounds like really bright, really fancy, expensive jewelry.
Yeah, hello, my name is Phil Rodda. I am a Foley mixer at Little Hook Sound.
What is it like to be on that side when he's doing God knows what on this side and you're just trying to put the two together?
Yeah, it's fun, number one, and the act of trying to sort of take what I'm hearing and do my job as best as I can to make it believable is kind of the main focus.
As a team, we're trying to sell the sound that I'm making to what we see on the screen. So most of the time he doesn't even know the prop or object that I'm using, and if I can trick and fool him into believing it works, then that should work for the rest of the picture. So as I'm doing my stuff, he's actually mixing multiple microphones to match the perspective of the sound being performed on screen. One of my favorite props, and I use it all the time, is this doorknob. So it can work totally great as just a regular doorknob, but I also use it all the time for any gun rattles. Yeah, so that's like a really random, simple prop that a lot of people kind of overlook. I've got tons of just... I went to the U of A for a couple of years and did the drama program and was terrible at it, to be honest. And at the same time, I was getting more interested in music production, so I went to school for music production instead. Came back to Edmonton and realized I was more interested then in kind of film sound. Got an internship and went to Belgium, and that's actually where I first got exposed to Foley. Kind of taught myself as much as I could, and eventually I landed an apprenticeship out in Toronto as a Foley artist and trained there, worked on some cool projects, and then once that was done, I came once again back to Edmonton and opened up my own stage and started my own team, and it's been a roller coaster ever since then. Medical, it's just like eggshells, bones, rocks. We do a lot of bottle sloshing.
It's like the most organized hoarders situation I've ever seen.
That's kind of the charm of it is, I go to Valley Village or Goodwill or dumpster diving and pull out random things that I think sound interesting and bring them back here and somehow try to incorporate it. They're kind of like different spices, and this is my kitchen. Okay, so lots of shoes, lots of chairs, lots of different surfaces too, because depending what is happening, what a character is doing, I have to do those sounds or those footsteps on the different surfaces. So yeah, we've got different types of concrete, wood surfaces. So this is it's an old slab from a bowling alley actually, and that's kind of what I use for my hardwood. There's a difference between like one gravel versus another gravel versus like a dirt. If somebody's on a deck, and it's kind of funny too, like we'll work on a film and I'll do like 2 or 3 days of nothing but footsteps. So you think about, I don't even know how many counts that is of feet, but it's like miles and miles of feet, like 3 days of straight cardio or something.
Just in your basement.
Just walking in the same spot.
This one says animal. What's
Yeah.
in the animal drawer? Are those coconuts for like, is that like horse cloms? Is
Yeah.
that the it's like Monty Python?
Had to fill the old stereotype, but yeah, I'm always touching stuff and listening to it and just trying to kind of make a mental image or sound file in my brain to reference later of like, oh, okay, that sounds like that texture, so if I need that texture in the future, I'll know what kind of object might do it. And then, yeah, it's just combining all of those weird things in my head.
Especially when it comes to footsteps, there might be some weird creaks in a shoe. There might be some weird squeaks that when you're newer to this job, you don't really notice, and you just kind of go like, okay, those are footsteps. They sound like footsteps, but it's like now you have to think like, what are the footsteps that I want them to sound like? It's like developing a palate. If you are a person into coffee or something, it might all taste the same, but eventually it's going to start, as you explore, it'll start sounding different, tasting different. Sorry.
A lot of sticky hinges. Paper's a really beautiful thing, in my opinion. Thin lined paper from like a school book that, and then you get to something like more of a printer paper. And if you combine a few different types, so maybe that's like an old map. It's a lot of perseverance. It's a lot of networking. It's a lot of hard work. But you get that one project in, and then you hopefully get another one and another one and another one. I mean, the first movie I ever worked on, I did out of my bedroom in my parents' basement. So things really haven't changed. I'm still stuck in a basement, but slightly bigger, slightly more curated.
And now it's yours.
And now it's mine, yeah. Yeah, so I only have myself to blame.
CBC's Clare Bonnyman speaking with Chris Szott and Philip Rodda of Little Hook Sound. That was so neat to think of what goes
sound.
into that, right?
Big time.
And also the different types of paper, like things I would have never thought of.
It sounds like he's getting his steps in. So
Okay, we're drawing the line. That's
okay,
it.
that's it.